Sydney Sweeney's were sent to her grandma and grandpa. Sydney Sweeney's mom is being trashed by her fans, and Sydney Sweeney is saying she's broke. But for Sydney Sweeney, she started living a very traditional life. She was born in rural Idaho, attending a religious school, not being allowed to date, party, or drink. But that all changed when she moved to Los Angeles. Her mom was a lawyer who moved the family when Sydney was a teen to pursue new work. And Sydney Sweeney became obsessed with LA. Deciding as a teenager she'd become an actress and model, with her parents opposed at first. But Sydney Sweeney won them over, writing a business plan, saying her 5-year plan and how she'd have success, which that might sound weird but is actually common, like Emma Stone, who did a PowerPoint presentation for her parents on her becoming an actress, where after watching they'd let Emma drop out of high school at 14 to move to LA. And like Emma Stone, Sydney Sweeney's parents approved, letting her pause her education for acting, which for years was difficult, landing smaller parts in shows such as Pretty Liars, Grey's Anatomy in the middle. Her big break, however, happened in 2019 with Euphoria. There, while being second to Zendaya, she left a big impression to the public, and that big impression were Sydney's where Sydney Sweeney went topless or nude over a dozen times in season 1, and Sydney Sweeney said it was weird at first but part of the job, and for her family, while religious, they supported her, the only mistake being her grandparents, where she invited them to the premiere of Euphoria forgetting her nude scenes would be shown, but she was still met with support though, where her grandparents said she had the best in Hollywood. But that joy ended though when the internet got involved, with accounts uploading her to Instagram, tagging her family members constantly, and some of them being minors, and Sydney Sweeney said she was disgusted and began to request fewer scenes in season 2, which again not unusual in Hollywood, like Emilia Clarke, who hated her scenes in season 1 of Game of Thrones, saying she was new to Hollywood and did whatever she was asked. However, after seeing memes and fanfictions, Emilia told producers to limit her scenes going forward, and Sydney Sweeney did the same thing, saying she's proud to go naked but only on her terms. But Sydney Sweeney's next issue was her salary, not complaining about going naked but complaining about her pay to go naked, where Sydney Sweeney in season 1 of Euphoria made $25,000 per episode and $60,000 per episode in season 2, but Sweeney said that's just not what she deserves, saying if she wanted to take 6 months off she couldn't, and for this she was made fun of heavily online, with people saying they work for way less and also can't take a 6-month vacation. It was also pointed out how Sydney Sweeney lives, buying a multi-million-dollar Hollywood home, regularly traveling the world, and wearing designer outfits. Sydney Sweeney lives in luxury, and many people online called her pay complaints insane, and memes started against her for this. But her biggest battle online was over her mom, where Sydney Sweeney paid for a cowboy-themed birthday party for her mom, with hats saying "Make 60 Great Again," which is a parody to Donald Trump's MAGA hat. And because of this, Sydney Sweeney and her mom were attacked online, being called Trump supporters and racist, despite no evidence of either claims, because it was just a party with cowboy boots wearing a parody hat. And Sydney Sweeney responded, bashing the web, saying she loves her mom and the internet is just cruel, and even if some family voted Trump, she still loves them. So from her news being sent to kids and her grandparents, to being called a racist with her mom, to getting made fun of for cash complaints, Sydney Sweeney shows fame is great but has a price.